Here's check on stores we're following for you today on Robin Hood Radio. Our forecast, sun and clouds today, windy 60 to 65. We'll check in with Pat Pagano and get the details on that forecast. Connecticut is prepared to begin vaccinating youths 12 to 15 following approval to expand Pfizer COVID shots. In a story in this morning's Republican American, state officials were busy prepping vaccination plans for younger students before the U.S. Food and Drug Administration authorized the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine for children 12 to 15 years old yesterday. News of the FDA's emergency authorization broke shortly after the governor and acting education commissioner detailed the state's planning for vaccinating this age group during a pandemic briefing. Tucker said the State Department of Education has been working with the governor's office and the State Department of Public Health on authorizations for vaccinations, clinics, guidance for school districts, and public education campaign for parents and guardians. Vaccine providers in Connecticut also ordered additional doses of Pfizer vaccination for this week in anticipation of that ruling and its emergency use for 12 to 15-year-olds, according to Jesse Cavalli, a top state official on the governor's pandemic team. A story by Ruth Epstein in this morning's Republican American. Visitors to the agricultural wing at Housatonic Valley Regional High School came away impressed with what they saw: a greenhouse filled with varieties of plants and plantings, an area where koi and trout swim in large tanks of water, spaces filled with modern machinery, and a barn that houses lambs, goats, and other four-legged creatures. Ag Ed is the 21st century. It looks a lot different from how it did a few decades ago. Those who tuned into the Saturday program, Farming in the Northwest Corner, Education, Economics, and Ecology, found out that, hosted by Cornwall Library, the event featured David Moran and Andrea Leach of Agri-Science and Technology program at Housatonic Valley Regional High School, and Bill Herbert, a local farmer. Connecticut lawmakers are proposing car thieves wear electronic monitoring bracelets when caught. A dramatic increase in car theft has lawmakers in the state considering tougher penalties. They're focused on teenagers who are not charged with a crime and released without bond. One proposal would require electronic monitoring bracelets when caught. During the past year, there has been a lot more car thefts across the state. Lawmakers are considering monitoring devices to prevent juveniles from committing more crimes. They're working on language and hope to have a bill to be voted on by the General Assembly sometime this year. Well, for the first time since October, Dutchess County went a week without losing a resident to COVID-19 last week. The county did not record a death for that week, according to Johns Hopkins University data. The last death was reported on April 30th. That news comes as New York continues to show progress in its fight against COVID-19, even though at the rate which residents are being vaccinated continues to slow. For Dutchess County, both those trends were evident again this past week. New York added over 17,500 new cases the week, ending Sunday down 26% from the previous week. Dutchess reported 265 cases last week, down from 352, and Ulster County 142 cases, down from 214. Now, New York State's public colleges and universities will require COVID-19 vaccinations for all students taking in-person classes in the fall, according to the governor on Monday. The vaccine mandate for the State University of New York, or SUNY, and City University of New York, or CUNY systems is the latest development in the push to boost vaccination rates that have slowed in recent weeks. The mandate would be pending the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, granting full approval for COVID-19 vaccinations. In a tight race yesterday for two seats on the planning board, Robert Cooper secured that seat in Sheffield by just 6 votes. The close tally came amid a town election stirred by a fight against commercial cannabis farms, an issue that had galvanized the town. Some meetings coming up today in Sharon. The Board of Selectmen have a meeting set for 3 o'clock this afternoon. Also, meetings coming up today in Kent, the Kent Sewer Commission at 4, Board of Selectmen regular meeting at 7, and the River Commission at 7:30. In Cornwall, the Wastewater Committee has a Zoom meeting at 5. First Selectman's Office has that Zoom link. Planning and Zoning public hearing at 7 p.m. You can get that link also from the town. In Salisbury tonight, the ZBA meets at 5 p.m. In Hillsdale, there's a town board meeting That is coming up at 7 p.m. via Zoom. Stockbridge Library presents World Evolution, Language Change Across the Time, presented by Stuart Edelson. That'll happen tomorrow from 5 till 6 p.m. on Zoom, stockbridgelibrary.org. Tomorrow, the North Canaan Board of Finance meets at 7:30. If you're looking for a summer job or internship, there's a teen youth job fair Saturday from noon till 2 at Roloff Johnson Community Library's Teen and Youth Job Fair. You can interview with area businesses that are hiring this summer. It's open for ages 14 to 24, a free outdoor event with light refreshments. The rain date is May 22nd. Contact rojanlibrary.org. Silver Lake Conference Center in Sharon will hold an open house on Sunday from 1 till 5 p.m. Scheduled tours with small groups will introduce families to the overnight camp. To sign up for the open house time slots, you can email slcc@ctucc.org. Masks and social distancing will be required. Our business brief is underwritten by Morgans at the Interlaken, interlakenin.com. You'll also find them on Facebook and Instagram, and by Salisbury Bank, salisburybankandtrust.com. And also by Viale Insurance, 75 Main Street in Lee, insuring seasonal and secondary homes in the Berkshires since 1912, 413-243-0347, vialeinsurance.com. Dow Jones Industrial Average will start off at 34,742.82. The Nasdaq at 13,401.86, and the S&P 500 at 4188.43. We'll take a look at the tri-state forecast. That'll come your way in just a few moments.